ever hear the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise?
No.
I thought not. It's not a story the Jedi would tell you. It's a Sith legend. Darth Plagueis was a dark lord of the Sith, so powerful and so wise, he could use the Force to influence the midi-chlorians to create life. He had such a knowledge of the dark side, he could even keep the ones he cared about from dying.
He could actually save people from death.
The dark side of the Force is a pathway to many abilities some consider to be unnatural.
You've never heard of the Millennium Falcon?
Should I have?
It's a ship that made the Kessel Run in less than 12 parsecs.
Hey everyone, and welcome to Kessel Run Weekly. My name is Danny.
And I'm Kristen.
And Happy New Year, everyone!
Yeah, Happy New Year. We're so glad to be back. I'm glad to be talking more Star Wars with you guys.
Absolutely, we missed all of you in our long break, but Lord have mercy, we needed it.
We did. We hate that we really had to take one, but with us both being in the customer service industry, retail.
Please be kind to your retail people.
Be kind. Just be kind in general, like, to everyone.
But who are we talking to? Of course you guys are kind. But we want to go ahead and kick off this year right. Looking forward to what we're dubbing the Year of Star Wars 2019. Kristen, we've got a lot to look forward to.
Mm-hmm. I have a New Year's resolution, Danny.
Oh, do you?
I do. You ready?
I want to hear it. Let's do it.
I'm going to use a Star Wars quote every day.
Oh, I'm going to watch for it, too.
I think I do it anyway, even if I don't mean to.
I know I do, so it wouldn't be a fair resolution for me. I get the looks from, like, the people I work with and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
Really
I've done that before, too. One of my girls at work said something real funny, and I don't remember what it was, but then all I could think about was the quote, and I said it, and they just looked at me like I was stupid, and I was like, Star Wars, man. Star Wars.
Get with it.
And they were just like, I think they just kind of rolled their eyes and walked away from me.
Welcome to my life. No. Well, see, and what's good, though, is that coming up this year, we'll be in a place, a haven of sorts, where no one will look at you funny for using Star Wars quotes.
This is true. We have a lot of good Star Wars happening, and
definitely.
I'm real excited.
Absolutely. So I want to talk about, I guess, the one that's coming up the most, early, soon?
Recent?
I don't know. Recent. I don't know. I don't know where I was going with that sentence. Sometimes I start one and I don't even know where it goes.
Oh, thank you, Michael Scott.
So in April, we have Star Wars Celebration Chicago. Thoughts, Kristen?
I'm a little nervous.
You're nervous? Why are you nervous?
I'm a little nervous. I'm excited, but
want people to like you?
I do. We're gonna get to see a lot of familiar faces that
That's true.
That we've only talked through either like video chat or even just like not even face chat. Like it's been just like
through the socials.
Yeah, just through the socials. So I'm excited to see all these people, but I'm just a little nervous. It's just like
Absolutely.
Don't think too highly of me, guys. I'm a lowly peasant.
Oh my gosh. She's talking herself down. No, we're really excited to meet a lot of you guys. Because like Kristen said, we've been talking to you guys for over a year now. Because this will actually be the second anniversary of the podcast. Actually, the birthplace of the podcast.
But it's coming up on my 1 year.
Yes, it is coming up on your 1 year. Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
About March, right?
Yeah, I think you started around actually shortly after my birthday, I believe. Happy birthday to me.
You're welcome.
What did I get for my birthday? My wife doing a podcast with me about Star Wars.
Yeah, your dream.
It was amazing.
It was?
It is.
Oh.
Currently. So Star Wars Celebration Chicago. Kristen, what are you looking most to in that? Like, what are you looking forward to the most for Chicago?
Oh, that you're about to ask me is abroad 2019. I was like, let me start a list for you. I guess, I feel like it's the same thing I've said, like, this entire time. If anyone asks me, like, what I'm most looking forward to in my first Star Wars celebration, cosplay. Not that I will be cosplaying, necessarily.
Yes, you will.
You keep saying that, but we hadn't even started.
It'll happen.
But it hasn't even started. It's mid-January.
You married into this family. You know how my family is. The last minute
Your
is
family,
where we shine.
Your family, not me and you. Your family, not me and you.
But you're my family now.
You know what I mean. I'm very much aware that I'm your family now.
Just wait. It's coming.
Okay, whatever. We'll figure it out, I guess. We'll look half done. It's cool.
Or all the way done and amazing because crunch time. No, I'm just kidding.
Once again, it's mid-January.
But if you have cosplay suggestions for Kristen, please send them our way.
No.
Please send them our way.
I'm not.
Do it.
I'm not open to suggestions.
I am.
Only because you're all gonna freaking say lumpy, and I'm not doing it. I ain't doing it.
Do it.
No. Try to make me.
I'm excited about the cosplay too because when I got to see it at Star Wars Orlando, like or Celebration Orlando, they really come out of the woodworks for it. Like, it's freaking cool.
I know. Like, I feel like people probably prepare all year.
Oh, absolutely. Well, I mean, I'm sure. I know there were a couple cosplayers I had met that had been working on this for years. Like,
well,
prior,
yeah.
like
I'm sure too.
Years.
I'm sure this isn't like.
But like, in all honesty, like my first celebration, I mean, I was emotional. You can call me a crybaby all you want, but
crybaby.
But I mean, I teared up because it's literally like stepping into Star Wars for a moment. Which we'll be getting to that
I
thing soon. But it was the closest I could come at the time. It was just cool, just being around all these people that share the same love of this fake Star Wars space story. I know.
It's fake.
It is fake. I'm sorry. It actually did not happen a long time ago or in a galaxy far, far away. I'm very sorry.
But you told me when we started this was all real.
I know we started this as a documentary podcast, but unfortunately it's not going to go that way. Surprise. If you could see the face she's making at me right now.
You lied to me.
Oh my god. But anyways, but no, I'm really excited about Celebration. I'm excited to find out what Lucasfilm's going to announce during there. Like what kind of cool stuff we're going to get, because we have a couple shows for the year that are coming up that are very exciting.
We do?
Why are you still hung up on that?
Star Wars is real to me, man.
It's real to me.
They don't say it's fake.
I'm sorry.
It's rude.
But anyways, so talking about Celebration, back to that. So one of the things I think I'm most excited for about Celebration is all the announcements and things, because the last one I went to, it was The Last Jedi, the final season of Rebels, all those exciting things. Battlefront 2 was announced there. We got a trailer and all that kind of stuff. So a lot of cool things happened. I know we have at least 3 shows at minimum that have been confirmed that I'm excited to see trailers from. The first one being The Mandalorian.
Yes.
Thoughts?
Very excited. Looking forward to it. They've done a few casting announcements. I don't think they've put anything else out much about it. Is there a synopsis really about it yet?
I mean, the one that Jon Favreau had, the producer, director of it, he had put out something basically talking about it being a lone gunfighter. That's pretty much all we know.
Gotcha. That's what I thought. I didn't think they'd really put much out.
But yeah, they've officially confirmed the casting rumors that we had talked about on a previous show. They confirmed all of those now.
Right.
Officially through Star Wars.com.
Yay!
So yeah.
Yeah.
So Pedro Pascal is the Mandalorian.
Very exciting.
Yes.
One of the other things that they've confirmed so far is that Clone Wars is returning. Mm-hmm. I'm very excited. Thoughts, Danny? Thoughts?
Yes. I am so freaking excited for this because you're actually still working your way through Clone Wars.
I've seen it. Yeah. I've seen it, but I haven't really watched it in order, I feel like.
Yeah. Well, as you have admitted before, you watched it over my shoulder, which is not really watching it. But
I didn't watch it over your shoulder. I acted like I was doing other things and watched it with you. Little did you know.
Right.
Even though I asked you probably like 60 questions. Who's that guy?
Yeah, exactly.
Who's that?
But I'm really excited for it because just all of the possibilities for it, with seeing the battle, the Siege of Mandalore, seeing Maul come back potentially, if they actually show Ahsoka and Maul face down at the Siege of Mandalore.
Yes.
All that kind of stuff.
Which I think we'll get.
Huh?
I think we'll get that.
Oh, absolutely. It would be crazy if we didn't.
Yeah.
I'm only concerned that we might not because it's already been hashed out in like a beginning part of a novel.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm kind of worried that we may not actually see it fleshed out as to keep from telling the story twice. But fingers crossed. But there's a lot of potential for that story, and just to kind of see Anakin's descent into where he ends up in Revenge of the Sith and everything, because I feel like Revenge of the Sith wildly is a cherry on top for him. It's like all the stuff was there festering underneath, and then that one thing tipped the whole scale. Mm-hmm. And that's where he just kind of fell to it and everything. So I'm just really excited to see Anakin's story furthered, to be honest with you. And additionally, to really see what Obi-Wan goes through in between this time period and everything.
Right.
Because I don't know that he was at the Siege of Mandalore. I think Anakin just left some troops for Ahsoka. Mm-hmm. I don't think either one of them were there, because I think they got called away to actually the beginning of Revenge of the Sith, where they were trying to save Palpatine.
Right. Sounds right.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I'm just really interested to see how all that story will play out and everything, and how much deeper we'll get into those characters. So that's actually, I think, as far as the TV shows go, like, I'm excited about the Mandalorian, but I'm really excited to see how Clone Wars wraps up.
Yeah, well, we got one more.
Yes, we do. Yes, so we have the Cassian Andor series that was announced. So I'm excited about this one because I think it's going to be kind of like a spy thriller kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of what they've said it was going to be, Danny. So way to quote Star Wars.
Oh, I guess they did, didn't they?
They did. That's the way you've always said it to me. It's a spy thriller.
I mean...
Spy thriller. Spy thriller.
Obvious statement is obvious.
It was just really funny because you're like, I think.
Let me have my moment. No, I'm just kidding. But no, I'm excited about it just to see kind of what a spy kind of series would be for Star Wars.
Right. We haven't really gotten anything full on like spy like that. I mean, yes, we've obviously had our episodes within Rebels, within Clone Wars of spy like.
We've had spy-like missions.
Thank
things
you.
Like that, but not a whole series around it.
Resistance is supposed to be kind of spy-like, but that's a different episode.
That is a different episode. But yes, I'm excited about it. And on top of that, are we going to see the fight that he's been in since he's been 6 years old? So, I
mean, I think we will. I'm thinking we're going to get that backstory.
Really learn a lot more about Cassian.
Yeah. I'm sure we'll get introduced to some new characters and kind of how he ended up in the rebellion.
Please bring K2 back. Please bring
I'm
K2
sure they
back.
will. I bet we'll get like a Han Solo-esque kind of thing where he
so
how
great.
Han meets Chewie, how K2
K2 is my
Cassian.
absolute favorite. K2 needs to come back.
Yes.
Absolutely.
He has to. I think everyone was really sad when K2 died.
Definitely.
Spoiler alert if you didn't know that. Which, if you didn't know that, you're not a true Star Wars fan, so go away.
Oh my god.
I mean, if you haven't seen Rogue One, like...
What are you doing with your life?
Exactly. Can you even really say you're a Star Wars fan? Like,
right? No.
Okay, you could, but it's fine.
You could. You can still be a fan. We
can.
accept all kinds of fans.
But you need to go watch it then.
And I'm gotta go in chronological order because we actually just got some new information about this one. Galaxy's Edge is next on our list. So Bob Iger recently mentioned in a shareholders meeting that it will be releasing in June, or not releasing. It will be opening in June.
I like releasing better.
Releasing, yeah. It will release into the world and grace
I wish.
us all with its... I know,
God.
right? Go ahead and make all of the world Star Wars. Disney's almost taken over anyways. Why not?
Like, I don't think I'd be mad if there were just stormtroopers walking around Walmart.
Oh my gosh. Well, if they were like real stormtroopers, yes, we would. But like...
Would you, though?
I mean, if they're like the stormtroopers like, hey, cool, it's a novelty trooper... Like, that's fine, but if we're looking at, like, oppressive governments and stuff, we might want to...
I didn't say they were coming after you. I didn't say they weren't doing anything but minding their own business. If they were real stormtroopers,
then they would be.
They could be minding their own business.
They're chill. They're mall troopers. Kind of the equivalent to a mall cop. No, I'm just kidding.
You're so bad. I can't live in the normal world now. Oh, I swear, you said mall.
Oh.
Not MALL, but MAUL. And I was like, what the heck is a mall trooper? All I could think about was the little guy from that like had the helmet that actually...
Oh, yeah, oh, man. Shadow Collective.
Yeah, that's all I could think about when you said that.
I was like, I can't remember the name. Yeah.
You're welcome.
That would be awesome, too. I'm down with that. Not complaining at all. But yes, so Galaxy's Edge is coming soon. June for Disneyland, and then the fall, because they've got to be, I don't know, they speak in code, or got to be...
Fall's good, though.
Open. Yeah.
Well, it depends in fall. If they're, like, going to go too late, like we're on Halloween, I'm going to be mad. Because obviously we're not going.
Right.
Or
which would be really upsetting.
We might, but we don't want to have to.
Our jobs may prevent us from it.
Right. Because then you have Halloween, then you got the whole, like, they start setting up for Christmas, and it's just really big around that time of the year there. So I just don't think we're going to be able to get down there to do anything.
Now, who knows?
But if they do it, like, when school's out, like...
Maybe this will be an excuse for us to go to Disneyland, because neither one of us have ever been to Disneyland or California. So...
Hey, California friends, can we stay with you?
That could be fun. I'm down with that. So yeah. So Galaxy's Edge, obviously, I'll be reduced to a blubbering mess the second that I walk in.
Both of us. We'll just like be hugging each other, crying.
We need to like attach GoPros. It's all the way in. Those body ones, just like real time reaction.
We'll get reactions on our phones. Like, I'll record your reaction. You can record mine. It'll be fine.
And then the phone video is going to be shaky because we're both just
like sobbing. This content's crap.
I can't see anything. But yes, I think out of everything, like it, next to Celebration, I am most excited about Galaxy's Edge.
Agreed.
But then there's number 3. Episode 9. So this is my So we're wrapping up the Skywalker saga. I'm so freaking excited. Like, this is gonna be so great.
I'm excited.
Yes.
I'm waiting to see some trailers, man.
I know. Well, we ain't gonna get anything until Celebration. That's when we got the Last Jedi trailer. And that's when everyone collectively lost their mind because it left us with the Jedi must end. And it was like, what?
Not my Jedi. No, I'm just kidding.
And then it proceeded to be the focus of argument for every Star Wars fan.
There will be some disagreement with this one, I'm sure. This is not going to be the one all be all of Star Wars here.
I don't know. See, that's my thing, is I can't wait to see if Episode 9 will truly bring everything together.
I'm sure it will.
And then on top of that, though, like, enhance Last Jedi. Just like I've believed that it will the whole time, because if you take Empire by itself without A New Hope or without Return of the Jedi, I feel like it doesn't really stand, because there's a lot to it. There's a lot of story that comes after it, and a lot of story before it and everything. Right. And so taking Last Jedi out of a trilogy, it's kind of hard to just judge it as it.
As what it is, yeah.
You can say Empire's your favorite movie now because you know how it begins and ends.
Exactly.
Outside of the movie. So that's what I'm waiting to see.
But I guess...
So yeah.
Can Empire really be your favorite movie, though, if it gets tied together by the movie after?
Exactly. So
Hey.
that's another episode. So we just get the episode ideas as we record. So
Pretty
yeah.
much.
But yes, so episode 9 coming out in December. Very excited. Super stoked.
Yes, very excited. Lots of
Definitely.
exciting things coming in this new year of 2019. I think it's going to be a great year.
The year of Star Wars. Sorry, I had to be really dramatic there. I had to just... It welled up in me. I had to let it out.
Wow.
Wow.
You're kind of a monster.
No, I'm sorry.
I'm just kidding. It's just going to be a great year overall. I think.
I think
Especially
so too.
for Star Wars, I think. So, and hopefully, Disney's on the train too. Which Disney is Star Wars, but you know what I mean? Like, along with, we're going to get Lion King reboot. We're going to get Aladdin reboot.
I know you're excited about some of that stuff. Yeah.
Dumbo.
Yeah.
I'm pretty excited.
The Spider-Man trailer just came out.
Yes.
I mean,
Does
everything's
Avengers
happening.
come out this year? Or is that going to be next
Yes.
year? Sorry.
So maybe
A lot of good
2019 is
stuff.
the year of Disney.
Movie takeover?
Exactly. All the stories.
Disney takeover.
There you go.
Disney ruled the world in 2019. Bob Iger for president.
Oh my god.
Would you really be mad though?
I mean, I don't know. It's not all Bob Iger though, so he'd have to have a good team behind him.
Okay.
Kevin Feige and Kathleen Kennedy and Dave Filoni, of course.
Well, Dave Filoni can be like the vice. And then just put everybody else as like little chairman or whatever.
Well, there you go.
Like however that system works. I'm just kidding.
Who even knows how government works?
What's government? No, I'm just kidding.
Oh,
It's shut
goodness.
down. It doesn't know how to work either.
No. Moving on. That laugh. What the heck?
Okay, I'm sorry.
I've been holding that one in for a while.
It just works so perfectly. I just couldn't help it.
So that's it for our, I guess, makeshift news segment of getting back into 2019. We have our listener segment. So this is where we will read your comments, your reviews of us, all this other good stuff. Which thank you to Roku Depot, who actually on Twitter and Facebook, they reviewed a couple of our episodes, including our "Twas the Night Before Christmas," our Star Wars version. They reviewed it, and
That's awesome.
it was very positive. So I appreciate that. Thank you guys for taking the time to listen to us and review us.
Yeah. Thanks for hanging in while we've been bringing ourselves back to life.
Right. It's been hard too.
It has.
Like, we're gonna do it today. Maybe tomorrow. That's how everything.
The fun
is.
thing about retail is you go through the crazy holiday season, the rush, and then after it kind of calms down. But there's no break.
No, there's no break.
There's no break.
But yes, so we have a listener comment from Instagram. Actually, it was a direct message. And I thought it was a cool kind of question that maybe you guys can even send in to us and your answers and stuff like that, and kind of see how you weigh in on it. But Kristen, so our question was from @VacAttack_productions from Instagram, and they asked if Star Wars was to do content on the time between episodes 1, so Phantom Menace, and episode 2, Attack of the Clones, what would you like it to cover? So personally, I don't feel like there's a lot to cover, but at the same time there is. Because really during that time, you kind of get Anakin, basically. Anakin training as a Jedi.
So, honestly, I think the one thing that I've been wanting, I think, since I've caught myself up on most everything Star Wars, I can't even say that. I'm sorry. Let me rewind. Since I've caught myself up on Star Wars movies, shows, content-wise, I haven't done books or comics, so I can't really claim that. I've been wanting to see more of the bad side. So the Siths, and how they come into power, and you know what I'm saying, how do they recruit them? Well, they probably just steal them. Okay. But I know, I don't know, I'd kind of like to see kind of what's going on behind the scenes, with Palpatine and like Dooku and.
So what he was doing during this time? Oh, that would be interesting.
Or even like
because we really don't know a lot of what he was doing during this time.
Or even like his take on like what Anakin was doing, like how he was manipulating Anakin during his growth.
He did leave us at we'll watch your career with great interest.
Exactly. So I'm saying, and then we got him as an adult.
So was he involved in his training at all?
Exactly.
That would be interesting.
You like it, don't you?
I do like it.
I like it too.
That's unique too. I like that.
And it's just a different spin.
I'd never even thought about that.
It's a different point of view.
See, and you struggled to find an answer for this question at
I
first.
did. I thought about it though. I thought about it and I came up with that. Which I mean, like, I swear if you go back and listen to a lot of our past episodes and you ask me what I want from Star Wars, I think my main thing I've been saying is I want more like villainy. Like I want more of the bad side of it. Like I just want to see how that side works. So we get the good side, we get the Jedi, we get how that works. We get the rebellion. And we're just trying to defeat the Empire the entire time. I mean, we're not saying you need to like make us feel for them or want them or anything, but
I don't know. So to that point though, the feeling for them and everything, I kind of like a tragic bad guy. Or like how Maul turned out, actually. And Anakin and Vader. I mean, he turned out that way too. Where you got the backstory, you got his intent and stuff like that. Which Maul, I mean, he was based on vengeance and everything, but there's so much more behind it under that surface. And so I don't know. To me, that enhances the final defeat of the bad guy,
right?
Or makes you kind of feel a little bit for him. You're like, oh man. Yeah, I actually feel bad a little bit that he's dead or that he's not around anymore or whatever may have happened to him. Kind of like with Maul when he died in Obi-Wan's arms.
Right.
At that point, you felt something for him.
Right. And even to that point too, like I think it would be cool to do a movie like I think a movie more so than a show. I don't know, like I just wonder how many people out there would actually want this like I do. It's probably just me. And you at the moment, but to kind of, I seriously want to know more about Dooku. I want to know more about Plagueis and all. So I kind of wish we could get like a whole Plagueis, not like a whole bunch of it, like Plagueis training Palpatine, but the kind of the betrayal behind it. Because we all obviously think that Palpatine killed Plagueis. I don't want to jump too far ahead, but Plagueis may have created Anakin.
Or someone else might have. We don't know.
We don't, but if they would confirm it...
We'll get to that.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's the movie I want, though, because that would be a good jump. They could, give us a little backstory, kind of show that, and then, next thing we know... That would be cool
to have kind of a series of the rise of Palpatine, almost. Not his rise that we see play out in the movies, but his training.
Right.
Like, how was he chosen to be an apprentice? Like, what all came about there? I think that would be really cool. Whether it be a side story or something, like, I think it would still be really awesome.
I wasn't going that far, but, I mean, I was going more so along the lines of playing along next to Phantom Menace.
I see what you're saying. Okay.
We get, Anakin born, how he was created, if he was created by the Force, if he was created by Palpatine, or not Palpatine, but Plagueis, and then jumping into him growing up.
Right.
And kind of what that looks like with Palpatine behind his shoulder.
I think that'd be interesting.
Looking very closely into his training. Even though he didn't say it like that because he was much younger.
Watching you very closely. He turns into an old hag.
Yeah, he did. I'm sorry. Too soon. But yeah, just something that kind of plays alongside of that and then jumps in between those two movies.
That could be interesting. I like that.
So
I definitely like that. See? I love your insight.
Thanks.
That's cool.
I'll write it down soon.
So cool. So Vac Attack Productions, thank you so much for sending that in. Guys, if you want to have your comment or message or review read on the show, just message us, talk to us on the socials, online and everything. Or if you or if you leave us a review on Apple Podcasts, we'll be happy to read it on the show. 5 stars is always awesome. Wink, wink. But we would love to talk back with you guys because, as we've said countless times, I'm sure, like, almost all of the fun is getting to hear from you guys.
Right.
And getting to talk back and forth with you guys, which is why we were so excited about Celebration, because we'll finally get to meet some of you in person, which is really cool. So yeah, so definitely send us your things and your thoughts and your Star Wars musings and all that good stuff. We'll be happy to discuss them on the show.
Yep.
So
and that pretty much wraps it up. So
it does. And I am really excited about this main topic. Are you ready to get into our main topic?
Wait, I thought we were done.
We're not done.
I'm just kidding.
No.
I'm just kidding.
And now, our feature presentation.
I'm ready.
Yes! So, oh my god. So, I've been looking forward to talking about this because, as you may have realized earlier in the show, Kristen said she doesn't read the comics. Guys, I got her to read a comic.
Mm-hmm. Barely. I did have disgust.
Oh, whatever.
And hate.
It was your boy, Vader.
It's the worst day of my life.
Oh, whatever. So, fair warning, spoilers ahead. We are talking Darth Vader number 25. The most recent line of the story that just wrapped up, I think 2 or 3 weeks ago? 2 weeks ago? I don't know. But it wrapped up recently. We wanted to give it enough time to breathe and all that kind of stuff so you guys could read it if you want to. You've probably seen a million spoilers online already. Sorry for that if that's happened to you. But we are going to spoil the heck out of Vader 25 and pretty much the entire series. So if you want to read this series or want to read this particular issue completely unscathed, unfortunately, now is your time to bail out. And then you can come back later and hang out with us and talk with us and everything about it. But we are going to read or discuss Vader 25. Kristen, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Sweet. So, I want to start it off with a quick catch-up of the Vader series. I have not actually discussed this with you at all, so I'm interested in your reactions with this.
No reaction.
So the Vader series, this one was really cool because it actually takes place immediately after Revenge of the Sith. So, actually, you reviewed the first 5 episodes with me, some time back, when the series came out, where we were talking about, cause it picks off right up where, Darth Vader does his no, and he throws Palpatine up against the wall and all this other kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah. And then Palpatine's like, if you ever touch me with the Force again, I'll kill you. All that good stuff, best friend talk. But throughout the series, so we're post Order 66, Vader is sent to hunt down remaining Jedi, and he is sent to after getting his armor and everything, he needs to get a lightsaber. And so we find out in there that lightsabers or the lightsaber kyber crystals come from previous Jedi, and that they are bled and feel pain, and that's why they turn red. Yeah. So, fun stuff there. That was another thing for people to argue about. But I loved it. I thought it was really cool because it brings them alive. But anyways, so he needed to go get a kyber crystal because Palpatine told him that the weapon that Anakin Skywalker had was not a suitable weapon for a Sith. Because it was gone anyways if he wanted it. But anyway.
Yeah. True.
Obi-Wan swiped that sucker right off the sands. So he goes hunting for a Jedi, one that has taken a vow of silence and nonviolence or something like that. And he goes and hunts this guy out. And naturally, once this guy finds out that he's being hunted by what he calls a creature of the dark side, because he's like, there's no humanity in this thing. He can't really figure out what he is. They end up going into battle, all that kind of stuff. And they go into battle and all that kind of stuff. And then at that point, short story, Vader kills him, takes his lightsaber, all that kind of stuff. Takes crystal, that's what he makes his actual lightsaber out of. All that good stuff. And then Vader kills Jocasta Nu, the librarian, and a few other Jedi. And there's just a whole little thing where we get some Inquisitors, lots of death, all the suffering, all this good stuff. Exactly what we expected from, the dark side and Vader. But catching up to this arc that led us here for Vader 25. So Vader comes across this helmet. I think he's given it or Palpatine gives it to him, I believe. But it's this helmet of a previous ancient Sith Lord named Momin. Momin. So this helmet actually showed up in, I think, one of the first issues of Vader. It was in the Jedi Temple in a glass case and everything. So it was a Sith artifact inside the Jedi Temple there. Everybody thought it was a Mandalorian helmet. It wasn't. But anyways, so when this helmet's put on somebody, Momin possesses them. So he actually comes to life. Somehow he's manifested himself in this thing.
Creepy.
Right? So Momin's whole thing kind of felt Thanos-esque. Thanos-esque. I can't
took
speak
too
tonight.
long.
I know, that really took
It
too
probably
long.
wasn't meant to happen if it took that long.
It wasn't. But anyways, kind of like Thanos. There you go. I had to be weird with it.
You had to be so complicated. My God.
So his whole Momin's original goal back when he was an ancient Sith Lord and alive was to basically freeze this planet in place in time to, I guess, reap the Force from it, is what I understood. It was weird, but it was literally like this entire planet that he was just going to freeze it in time, and it would be immortalized, and he would just extract Force essence. I don't know. Something really strange.
Okay.
Obviously, it backfired because the Jedi. And they showed up and ruined it all for him, and he hates the Jedi like everyone else, apparently. So Vader hears the story, all this other kind of stuff, and Momin is like, you know what? I'll help you access the dark side nexus, because this is how you'll save Padme. Now we're to the actual story point. So...
Wow, that was quick catch up, Danny.
I know, I'm trying. But anyways, so he promises that he can help bring Padme back to life, accessing the dark side nexus. So he helps Vader in building his castle on Mustafar. So his castle's made this exact way because this is how it like transmits the dark side, hones the dark side. I don't know, kind of like how a Kyber crystal focuses the lightsaber.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of that kind of thing. And so they go through a bunch of little things or whatever, and then they finally find the one that works. And Momin immediately betrays Vader. And you know, Vader takes betrayal,
Of course.
very well. As always. So he pretty much just like wipes out Momin, and wiping him out meaning that he took the helmet off of whoever he was possessed with. Doesn't take much to turn him off. But anyways, so he goes through this nexus of the dark side, and now we are here.
Hey, Danny, how do you turn them on?
Oh my god. So that was my quick, not so quick catch up with the Vader series. But now we are to Vader 25.
Right.
Kristen, your first thoughts on this without getting too deep into it. What did you think? Because I know normally you're not a fan of the comics or novels or anything because reading. And
Spooky.
It
was
what did you think?
It was on a different level for me. It was
Did you like it?
I mean, yeah, I liked it. It was a little different. We got a little walkthrough of some old stuff. Some kind of moments. Nothing that really made you go, aw. So.
No, I would disagree, but
There was an awe moment for you?
oh, not like all like, oh, that's sweet.
Yeah,
It
okay.
wasn't
that's
anything like that. It was more like all like, that's heartbreaking.
well, yeah, that's what I meant. There was nothing like, aw.
Yeah.
You just
get
saw
to
a cute
see
puppy.
the further pain of Anakin Skywalker.
Right. But overall, I mean, it was a good little read.
Yeah, I
So-
enjoyed it too. I was really impressed with it.
May have answered a question.
Quite a few, I think. So let's
Well,
go ahead and dive in with
true.
it. So the first page opens up with, and this is what it says across it. It says, "There was no father, unnatural, and the chosen one." So in this whole panel, we get pictures of Shmi Skywalker, Anakin's mom, and she's just standing there and everything. And
Shmi.
yeah, Shmi. There was no father, is what it says right there. And then you get unnatural, the chosen one. The second panel is extremely disturbing and creepy because you have Mr. Palpatine behind Shmi, like kind of doing some like witchcraft, I guess, around her belly.
You know what it looks like?
What's that?
It looks like the ladies at the circus who are reading into the glass ball. You know I'm right.
You're not wrong.
You know I'm right. Yeah, so that's what he looks like.
Except
he looks like
it's a
he's
pregnant lady's belly.
right, but you know I'm
Yeah.
right. So yeah, that's what it looks like is a lady at the
Yeah.
table circling her ball, like looking into it, like
Yeah.
I see
Little
your
crystal ball kind of deal.
future.
Yeah. So this is one of the story points in it that I think stood out the most for a lot of people, was that it basically insinuates that Palpatine created Anakin. And so I wanted to talk about that. So do you...
Don't make me laugh. You had it.
So
You made
do
me
you
giggle.
think that Palpatine actually created Anakin?
It's working. My hands are tired, man. God. I mean, I've kind of thought that from the beginning.
Okay.
Well, okay, I'll take that back.
I think you thought Plagueis was...
Yes.
Okay.
Because the whole thing that Palpatine said was that he learned how to create life.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of what gave me the whole, like, okay. But obviously we do know too that Palpatine, we don't know actually, I guess it wasn't confirmed, but it's hinted that Palpatine kills his master Plagueis and learns kind of...
Well, yeah, I mean, you're right. It's all based on Palpatine being truthful, which is a whole bunch of contradiction.
Exactly. It's hinted,
Yeah.
and so, I mean, it's not far-fetched to think that Palpatine can do it, especially if Plagueis learned how to do it. Of course, he's going to teach his, I want to say Padawan, but that's obviously not what it is.
Apprentice.
Thank you. I always forget that. That's like the worst word for me. I don't know why I can never remember. Of course, he's going to teach his apprentice, though, how to do that. So, I mean, it's not like too far out there for me. Like, I've always thought he was created by somebody, like Sith-wise. So, it was either Palpatine or Plagueis, so.
Or the Force. So, I mean,
Well,
that's the thing. It's
it
like
still is the Force,
No, that's
so-
what I'm saying, though. Is like, so, I mean, he had a creator of some kind somewhere. It was just a matter
But
of
the Force
who.
never made sense to me, because why would the Force just create one? Why wouldn't there be little Force babies everywhere? I'm just saying. Would it make sense just to create one?
Because the Force fell in love. It was monogamy, man. No, I'm just kidding. Sorry, I made that weird. Anyways.
You always do.
No, I mean, I agree with that.
Oh, I thought you were about to disagree. We're about to have words.
No, I agree with that. Because that's the thing is, for it to just spontaneously create life, that would, I don't know, that would be a different side of the Force that I don't feel like we've ever, that would be out of characteristic, I guess, of the Force.
Right. Like, when has any of the series, other than Anakin popping out of nowhere, has any other Force baby come along?
You're right.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't
Like,
know if it's right yet, but
you stop that. It's not, because she had
It's not.
parents, but I guess
but
doesn't mean anything.
but yeah, so personally, I think that Palpatine may have actually done this, or at least had a hand in it, and I think we actually got. Oh my god! I actually think that we got confirmation without confirmation in this. In all honesty, for me, I think I've always thought that Palpatine created Anakin. I truly do, because it's been this way from the beginning. Anakin's life has basically just been a big manipulation, which I think is a lot of what we see in this issue as well. Did you think that what Anakin's being shown here, do you think it's any possibility that it's a complete lie? So basically it's the dark side
Manipulating him to think
Yeah.
that's the way it happened. I don't know. I mean, it's possible, because just kind of fast forwarding just a tad, we see little Annie. We see a few scenes with him and Padme, and then we see him having nightmares, and
Yeah, the nightmare of Vader coming out of the wall.
yeah, and then him seeing Vader in like as a shadow, which obviously doesn't happen. But I mean, maybe that's just the way it's foretelling.
Well, and
as
that's
to what
what's weird
happened.
is, like, so everything else happens in this, like, dark side nexus. Like, Anakin's vision, I can't say it.
What are you trying to
Anakin's person, the way he looks, it's kind of like a swirly red black something where his arms are missing and his legs are missing and they're just white. And so everything takes place in this nexus except for this dream of sorts.
Right.
And so it's almost like he's remembering, I think. Because this is the only point where it kind of takes you out of the Nexus and puts you into something else. And then after that, it goes back into the Nexus. So it's almost like he's remembering these things coming to fruition right after he sees that Palpatine created him.
True.
So, what did you think of his little walk down memory lane? Because we get to see him pod racing. Like you said, we see him and Padme. Are
you
falling
an
in love.
angel?
Yeah, that whole thing. Oh gosh, that comes back. But what it made me feel like is, what if all of that was meant to show that his life was set up from the beginning? So going through because otherwise, what's the point of those memories?
That makes sense. I mean, you were created, and I dictated everything in your life. Mm-hmm. Like, I put you in the path I wanted you to be in. I did the things I did to bring you.
Could we give Palpatine that much credit?
I don't know. See, that's the thing that's always kind of weirded me out with this whole, like, I won't say whole series, but like this whole idea behind Palpatine is, how can he orchestrate everything that well and keep everything in line like that?
That's insane.
Like, it just doesn't make a lot of
contingency plans for his contingency
That's
plans.
what I'm saying. That doesn't really make a lot of sense to me. Because, I mean, yes, I know my biggest complaint probably is the fact that I feel like the Jedi could never, like, keep up. Mm-hmm. And they're always like, what is this dark force surrounding us? I don't know. And they always just almost played stupid to it. Like the Sith wasn't a thing. Yeah. And that the Sith wasn't trying to do something bad. It's like they just forgot they had enemies for a second. Right. Which I know there's the whole, like, their judgment was cloudy because they were on top of the temple. My mind's foggy. Exactly. Says a little green frog. You threw me off.
Oh, sorry.
Their
vision was clouded.
Yeah, but it just, I don't know, I guess it just seems really weird that with the Jedi, like, they would have no, I don't know, like, I just don't feel like the Jedi had that much control over the Force. Mm-hmm. How could the Sith? How could one Sith? Because it's not like all of them have this.
And that's the thing, is that we see a lot of times throughout Rebels, where Palpatine actually makes an appearance again, throughout Clone Wars and everything, where we actually see contingency plan after contingency plan go into effect, where he's got backups for his backups and everything. So, I mean, I don't think it's outside of the realm of possibility, but, I mean, I can see where it's kind of, I don't know, like, is he that good?
Yeah.
Personally, though, I do think that Palpatine may have been that good at what he was doing.
It just seems so, like, I don't know, it just doesn't add up to me how one person can be that crazy powerful, and then you have this whole room of, like, Jedi who...
Well, and then the other side of that, though, is that we don't know the plan from the beginning, you know?
Yeah,
so,
I guess.
Mean, how much was actually orchestrated?
Right.
How much was chance?
Right.
What would he actually have left anything to chance?
Right. But yeah, it just seems like he was able to get rid of things, you know, anything that kind of got in his way, he eliminated. We saw that more in Clone Wars, I feel like.
Oh, definitely. He kind of went Mafia style on us in a lot of ways.
Yeah, he did. So, I mean, maybe that's kind of why. I mean, he definitely had a lot of allies, so, I mean, that could have been a big factor, too. But I don't know, I guess I just want more behind-the-scenes stuff, I guess. Because we didn't really see any of that orchestrate, really, on that side of the scale. We just saw it on, like, the Jedi side.
Right.
So, but I think it'll just make us feel like the Jedi are more stupid. At least for me, it would.
It's like, how did you not see that?
Like, that's just the most annoying part of watching those movies, when all that unfolds, because you're just like, how?
Because you know the end from the beginning, so yeah.
I do. It's just like, you're just kind of watching them just chill around and relax and sit in their little chairs and meditate on the Force, but it's just like...
Snuck up on them.
But how would you let it sneak up on you?
Well, so it's a certain point of view that we're getting.
I know.
So, and that really does bring us to our next thing. So our next little portion shows Anakin looking at what is his castle, but turns into the Jedi Temple. And the quote across it is an Obi-Wan quote. from Return of the Jedi.
Yes, it sure is.
The truths we cling to depend on your point of view.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's important in this because so you see Anakin fighting a ton of Jedi.
Yes.
A lot of which he's already killed, too.
Some he never even fought.
Some he never even fought, like Yoda and Quinlan Vos.
Yes.
Those are two because in the Vader series, he actually has like a kill list. Ahsoka's on there, too.
Ooh, snap.
So, yeah, which... That's actually another thing I think we skipped over, but just kind of briefly mentioning. So in Rebels, when they meet, the reason that it was foretold that you would be here this day when Anakin and Ahsoka show down, it's because of this dark side nexus. That's how it was foretold. He saw this in the dark side nexus that it would happen, and that was the foretelling of their meeting.
Yeah.
So, little cool tidbit. I want to watch Rebels some more. But anyways.
We can.
But yeah, so Yoda and Quinlan Vos show up and everything, and then as Anakin is literally wrecking these Jedi, or these holograms of Jedis, I don't know, whatever these are, these imaginary Jedi, there is a quote across it that I thought was really peculiar. It's, "Let the past die, kill it if you have to."
Yes. Where have we heard that before?
I don't know. Maybe freaking Kylo Ren. So
Sorry.
So here's my thing. So in Force Awakens, we see him worshiping the helmet of Vader. Is this a Sith? Is this a Sith teaching, or has Kylo found a way to communicate with Vader? And could Vader actually live in the Force without Anakin?
See, so here's the thing. I just thought about this too.
Okay, let's hear it.
I'm leaning more towards Sith teaching,
Okay.
even though it's not something we've ever heard,
Mhm.
but we haven't ever seen the Sith teaching either.
Mm-hmm.
But the only reason I'm thinking it's not just a Vader thing is because I feel like even as Vader Force Ghost or whatever, like, or however they would communicate, which I imagine would be kind of the same as like the Force Ghost, Sith Ghost, whatever. I wonder how they look different because, Anakin's technically a Force Ghost.
One's
Anyway.
red and one's blue.
Right. But I feel like you'd have to realize that the really only person left for anything to happen, which maybe, I don't know, now that I'm thinking about it, I have to get to my point because you're like, say it, lady, say it.
We're on the edge of our seats.
I know. I'm sorry. So the reason what I was going to say, but now I'm kind of I'm turning myself around here again. In order to let the past die, kill it if you have to, it would mean that Kylo has to kill Luke. So if he's communicating with Vader, that means Vader essentially telling Ben to kill his own son. Kill my son.
So there's the
Luke.
other side of that, though.
But
Can Vader exist without Anakin?
Huh?
Can the persona of Darth Vader being the dark side part of Anakin, can it exist without the redeemed Anakin Skywalker? Can they be two separate things?
I don't know. I don't think so because we
See,
already
that's
saw.
what's weird.
I think they would contradict themselves because they already made Anakin a Force Ghost.
True.
So
But
you
can
can't
he be
have
a Force Ghost, and can there be the persona?
I don't
of
think
Vader?
so. But I mean, looking at this weird comic when it's some weird spirally thing looking person walking around, I mean, it kind of makes you think that there's like a dark entity essentially.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know.
See, wouldn't that be crazy that Vader was such a powerful Sith that he lives on as, like you said, a dark entity separate from the person Anakin Skywalker?
I feel like that would just take it somewhere it doesn't need to go.
Be almost like the boogeyman kind
right.
of deal.
Like I said, I just feel like that would take it somewhere it just doesn't need to go, honestly.
Yeah. Honestly, I agree with you, though. I think it's a Sith teaching.
Yeah.
Because, and in thinking about it while you were talking, the let the past die, kill it if you have to, one of the things that the Sith have you do is kill someone you love.
Right.
And that's like, it's a completion of your training.
Right.
Kind of thing.
So I think
yeah.
it's letting go of your past and who you were.
Letting go of who you were. Because just like, and we come to this later, how Vader, when he showed down with Ahsoka, is that Anakin Skywalker is dead. And that's when she's like, I'll avenge his death. Coolest scene ever. But yeah, so it's kind of like that letting go of the person you used to be and becoming this monster.
Right, and I think it has a lot to do with why Kylo had to kill Han.
Absolutely.
Because he knew he had to do that, and I think that was that conversation on the bridge, and he was like, I'll help you.
Han didn't know what he was signing up for.
No, he didn't.
But that's typical Han.
Right.
But even Snoke said too, so in saying that that's part of Ben's training to become Kylo Ren, even Snoke visibly could tell, he even tells him, the deed split you to the bone. Because he's like, I killed Han Solo. He's like, whatever, chill out. You're torn up about this. Like, you're hurting.
And then we saw what happened when he got a chance to kill his mom.
Yeah, he chickened out.
He did.
Thank God.
Well, yes, but...
I mean, the outcome was almost the same, but still...
Pretty basically.
Yeah. But, I mean, I'm leaning more towards Sith teaching.
Yeah.
But I just think it's interesting thinking of the possibility of someone being able to live in both the light side and dark side.
Right.
Kind of thing. I don't know. That'd be interesting to find out, to know more about. But yeah, so moving on. So we see the famous line, I am your father. But it's not the fight on Bespin. It's a picture of Palpatine and Obi-Wan standing next to each other.
Mm-hmm.
Which I think is very interesting, because as the panel progresses, Palpatine kills Obi-Wan, which I believe is the symbolic of Anakin choosing the dark side over the light.
Yes.
And then Anakin kills Palpatine, which he hasn't done yet. This is post Revenge of the Sith, not Return of the Jedi.
Right.
So why do you think he would have done that then?
Guess it's as good as mine, man. You probably have one, but still.
Well, I mean, the illustration after Palpatine killed Obi-Wan, he is technically blocking the way to Padme. So I almost feel like there's less symbolism in that kill than there was in Palpatine killing Obi-Wan in this vision. So I almost feel like it's more of Anakin going, hey, you ain't standing in my way, buddy.
Right. Well, not at this point, because he already lost Padme.
Mm-hmm. But now there's hope of getting her back.
Exactly. And he would not let anything stand in his way.
He killed the fake Jedi, of course.
Right. Nothing would stand in his way in order to get to Padme.
Every single one of them.
Anakin would flatten the earth to get back to Padme.
Mm-hmm. What do you mean the earth isn't flat? I'm just kidding.
Don't start that. That was trending not too long ago.
Oh, Lord. But yeah, so he is blocking the way to Padme. So I definitely think that's probably why he killed Palpatine in that moment. But this is the scene that absolutely wrecked me. So when Anakin sees Padme again, she turns around and says, "Are you an angel?" I was like, no. Like, it's the first thing he ever said to her.
The worst part is you read it kind of as like a creepy Anakin voice too, or a creepy Annie.
You can't help it.
Right.
Because we all know that. Yeah. Are you an angel? And he's like, what? What do you mean? But yeah, so she says, are you an angel? And he's like, he's trying to basically coax her and be like, Padme, let's go. I've come to save you. I'm here. It's me, Anakin. When he says that, her reply is, Anakin Skywalker is dead.
Right.
I don't know you.
Exactly.
Like basically telling him that you don't exist, that you're not who you say you are, which is true.
Yes.
So that's I don't know, that wrecked me, because at that point, to Anakin's knowledge, he didn't have a person in the world.
Yeah.
Like at that moment he was like, oh man, this is serious, but he still doesn't let her go yet. He kind of tries to grab forward to her and everything, and before she literally throws herself off the railing from the top of his castle.
I don't think she throws herself. To me, when you say throws herself, that reminds me of somebody like running and jumping off of something. Like, to me, she just is already standing on the edge and just falls
back. Okay. That's
so I don't. When you say throwing, like I imagine like either forceful.
Just a full sprint right off the side of the castle.
Pretty much.
Anakin Skywalker said, meow. No.
I'm just trying to put an accurate picture in everyone's head here.
But yeah, so she falls over the railing, and I didn't notice this until actually after you read it, but she's holding her throat while she's falling.
Yeah. Like how she died.
Yeah. Well,
she didn't
started the
die.
dying.
Yeah. What caused her to spiral to death?
Yeah, exactly.
Because
kind of let her know that Anakin wasn't Anakin anymore.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's I don't know, to me, like, because I'm pretty sure Anakin in the comics saw this. I don't know, like, I felt like Padme was trolling a little bit.
She was.
Like, falling over like, oh, I'm going to grab my throat. Remember this, Anakin? Remember this moment? But, I mean, it was heartbreaking, though, to see, because he had to watch her die twice.
He didn't watch her die the first time.
Well, to his knowledge, she was dead. Well, no, that's right. No, you're right, because even he asked Palpatine, is she alive?
Yeah.
And everything, and that's when he got upset. So you're right. So he watched her die, fall over the railing, and all that kind of stuff. And it was weird too, because like as she fell, like she became like this withered, like she looked dead.
Like she was like decomposing.
Yes, decomposing. Yeah,
essentially. And then she got struck by lightning.
Oh yeah, definitely. And so I think at that point, Anakin just kind of was like, "There's no hope," and everything, which is interesting because the next thing that happens is a flash of hope. So, because in all honesty, I'm wondering how much of this is a vision and how much of it is true.
Right.
And that's what kind of gets me where I want to be like, yeah, Palpatine created Anakin. But at the same time, like, it's moments like these where I think he may have actually convened with Padme in the Force in a way, but it also feel like it was the dark side kind of giving him the middle finger. Kind of like, hey, so you want to do this, right? You're going to bring her back to life? Guess what? There's no way. You're mine now. So that's what it kind of felt like to me.
I don't know if I'd even call it that. I think it was, I don't know, I think it was something that, like, was still holding on to him pretty hard.
Mm-hmm.
Was her, and maybe technically never saw her die or knew. She technically could have still been alive and he would have never known, probably.
True.
Because he never saw her.
Yeah.
Palpatine just said, he lied the way she died, but, but I mean, she technically could have been alive all these years and he would have never known. And so I don't know. Maybe it was a way of accepting that she was dead or something. I don't know. Maybe I'm stretching.
Almost further dying to himself.
Yeah.
Again.
Exactly that too.
Yeah, further dying to Anakin Skywalker and becoming Vader.
Right. Letting go
of everything.
Yeah.
Because that was the one thing he didn't let go of. He still had that second agenda. No matter what he was doing throughout this comic series, he had that agenda of, oh yeah, no, I'm going to do this.
Right.
I'm going to find a way. I'm still going to look for a way to bring her back and all this other kind of stuff. So
maybe that was the way the Force was telling you that you're never going to be able to bring her back.
Right. It doesn't work that way.
Right.
But once he's lost all hope, there's a bright bluish white light that shines in the distance and just kind of brightens up everything.
Mm-hmm.
And he sees a vision of Luke. Like, he doesn't see his face, but it's Bespin Luke. The first time he meets him and everything, holding the lightsaber in attack ready mode, like, freaking awesome.
Right.
And so I'm wondering, like, for him, what that meant. Because, I mean, it brought him out of the Nexus, for one. So was that hey, I know you've lost everything, but there's still hope. There's always a light in the darkness kind of thing. I don't know. What did you think?
I don't know. Like, maybe it's just a foretelling of what was to come.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is... I don't know. It never, like, hinted at anything other than that it was a light. Mm-hmm. But to me, the light symbolized that it was not, like, a Sith person. Like, it was Jedi.
Right.
Because light, dark.
It was a white light, yeah.
Yes. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, at that moment, I could imagine that he probably felt it more as being, like, a competition kind of thing. Which, in a way, it kind of was.
Darkness rises and light to meet it.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh. I didn't even think about that till just now. Look at you. I'm so proud. That makes sense. Because it's kind of like new contender.
Right, like here's to come. This is coming.
Yeah.
The light has rose again, and it's coming, and it's going to come try to defeat the dark side. Because that's all it's ever done. Light goes after dark, dark goes after light. More so like going after the dark, but still.
Yeah. Interesting.
Dark just likes to terrorize everybody else.
It does.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that a lot. And then it ends the whole comic once he's pulled out of the Nexus and everything. Of course, Palpatine's going to check in on his loyal apprentice. And he asks him, he says, "So the truth you learned of Mustafar, was it what you sought, and was it what you needed?" Vader literally ends the entire series in one word. Yes. So I'm wondering what that meant. What was his truth? That there was no hope? That this is who he is? Like, what do you think?
Let the past die. Kill it if you have to.
Man, this is like parallel Last Jedi here. Surprised this comic didn't make more people mad. I mean, yeah, a lot
Not
of
my comic.
Oh my gosh.
Sorry, I'll stop eventually. Let's be real, I really won't.
Yeah. I honestly think that this is where Vader decides that, I don't know, I wonder if he felt like Palpatine was more of a liar at that point. If he realized what Palpatine, like the truth of what Palpatine wanted him for.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, you can't discount all the things that he saw through there. He saw a lot of things he had no knowledge of. And so if it were actual truth, then he would know that Palpatine did all this and that everything in his life has been arranged up until now.
Well, that's what I was thinking too. I wonder if it was all kind of like questions for him. Because obviously as a kid who just had a mother, you have to wonder where you came from. Who was your father? It had answered, Palpatine created you. Maybe there was the question of when like he was little, was he always supposed to grow up to be like this? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And we saw the shadows, the nightmares. Maybe he always wondered if Padme was actually dead.
True.
Where did his loyalty lie with Obi-Wan or
Palpatine?
Did he make the right decision?
Dang. Come on, you're on a roll now. I'm waiting for the rest of it.
Did he make the right decision?
Okay.
And then within his, because it's kind of almost like it's that, what's that thing called where like, it's kind of like the telltale where you get to make your own decisions throughout the walkthrough. I feel like it was almost kind of like that for him. Yeah. And maybe it was him answering his own questions as to what his life could have been like or should have been like, or did he make the right decisions in the whole like lightness and darkness? And so maybe killing, like you said, because Padme was in the back, so maybe he was thinking he could get to Padme and figure out or not whether she was dead or not. That's why he ended up killing Palpatine.
Yeah.
In the line of it. Yeah. But getting to her and realizing she was dead was letting go of that hope of ever getting her back. And then, I guess just getting to the end would be, what does my future hold?
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Because it seems hopeless.
It does.
And then all of a sudden, this bright white light comes out of nowhere, and you just barely see Luke.
Right.
So, yeah. You were a Star Wars genius.
I mean, I bet if you sit down with, like, the creator, they're going to be like, no.
Nah.
I just like to write doodles. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Somebody who actually draws is going to, like, kill me for saying that.
Meant nothing. No, that's cool, though. I like that. Because, I mean, Anakin was full of questions. And that's what made him a good Jedi, is he asked the questions. He challenged authority. But he was always everybody tried to push him back into that box of, oh, don't do that.
Right.
And everything. And that.
Do what you're told, Anakin.
Yeah, exactly. Do what you're told, and that's not Anakin.
Right.
It never has been Anakin. So that's.
And Palpatine was always willing to answer those questions for him.
Yeah.
And always gave him that doubt in his mind.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, no, I like your interpretation of the whole thing a lot better. Like, I want to go back and reread it now
with that like in mind.
With that in mind,
we will
to see if it actually connects and everything, because that's interesting. That was really cool. I'm impressed.
Thank you.
I'm very impressed. Good job. Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year to me.
I don't know. I wanted to congratulate you in some way. That's all I can think of in the moment.
I don't think that's like a endearment term or anything, honey.
I don't know. I'm proud.
Next week I'm just like, Happy New Year to you. What did I do? You washed the dish.
Oh, gosh.
Note that I said dish, not dishes.
Oh, my-
Just kidding.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Oh, gosh. So, I think it's time to wrap up our first episode of the new year. What do you think?
I think so too.
So cool. So, real quick before we close everything out, I do have a quick announcement. If you have been following us on social media, you have seen a little something special that's coming from us soon. A friend of ours, actually.
Yes.
Who has joined our Castle Run Weekly family. We're growing, guys. We're putting together a crew. Big shot gangsters. So, Clone Wars commentaries with Cheyenne. So our friend Cheyenne at jerica.training.academy, she has started a Clone Wars commentary for us where she's watching every single episode of the Clone Wars and commentating.
Yes.
Having fun with it and just loving Star Wars and everything. I've gotten to listen to a lot of the episodes already, obviously, and they're a lot of fun. They're really cool. She's got a great heart for Star Wars, a great heart for people. Very sweet, very fun. And she's got a friend that's going to be joining her as well soon, so I will let her announce that once she is on the show here in a couple weeks.
Yes.
But yes, so Clone Wars Commentaries with Cheyenne is coming February 1st, guys. So be looking for that every single Friday, because Fridays are for Clone Wars. So cool.
Yes,
And Kristen, you want to go ahead and close us out?
Yeah, I sure will. So thanks everyone for listening or watching another episode of Castle Run Weekly. If you enjoyed this episode or any of our past episodes, please make sure you go and rate and review us on Apple Podcasts. Leaving us a 5-star review will guarantee that we will read it on a future episode.
Absolutely. And you can also find us on social media at Castle Run Weekly on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, as well as our website, CastleRunWeekly.com. And to our listener comment and everything earlier, thank you again at VacAttack_Productions. We really appreciate you. Go follow them on Instagram. They're really cool. But yeah, so send us questions and comments and things and your theories, because that's what we love to do more than anything in the world for Star Wars, is to create crazy theories.
Yeah.
It's so much fun.
And just kind of adding on to that, if you read Vader number 25, and you have any thoughts about it, or if you have your own thoughts and theories, let's talk about them.
Absolutely. I want to hear it too. Because, and that's what I think is so cool about this issue, is that it can be interpreted so many different ways.
Right.
Like, is it a lie? Is it the truth?
I know. See, that's
You
what I
know?
was thinking too. I think that's probably one of the coolest parts about actually writing for something like Star Wars. Is you got to imagine this guy. I mean, I'm sure he's got his own little thing about it, but there's so many other minds out there that are coming up with something different. Like, my theory is probably going to be totally different than your idea, or the person in a couple states over who read it. And they're probably thinking, this is all just like a lie. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't know.
Right. And that I love that about Star Wars. It leaves it so open to where there's so much kind of conspiracy and all this other kind of stuff to it. Like, it's great. I love it. Weird Star Wars is great Star Wars. Absolutely. All the time. But yes, guys, thank you so much for listening. And until next time, my name is Danny.
And I'm Kristen.
And may the Force be with you.
Always.
Happy New Year.
Happy